Alright guys, looks like I'm live. YouTube says I'm live. I must be live. Welcome into Dave, Hanging with Dave here on Dave's Techway. Little live stream I do every Saturday. I normally go over some new stuff coming out in tech. Usually find a few articles to go over, which I didn't do this week. I also go through the comments and the questions that was left on the videos over the last week. This week it's going to actually be the last 2 weeks. I wasn't able to do it last week. I had some personal stuff to take care of, so I didn't get to do the live stream last week. A few disclaimers I throw out at the beginning of every show. I feel it needs to be thrown out there. I do enjoy me a cold drink, cold alcohol beverage while I do this. Maybe a couple, depending on how long the show goes. And I am a truck driver by trade, so there may be a little bit of foul language. I try not to do it, but it does slip out from time to time. And it being a live show, I can't go back and edit it out like I do in the video. When it's a video and you edit, you can cut that kind of stuff out. Being live, you may hear it. Hope it don't offend you. If so, I'm sorry in advance. So, cheers to y'all on this Saturday morning. Glad y'all could come and join and hang out with me. I try to do these Q&As, only Q&As as much as I can. Basically, that's why I started live streaming. Just for the viewers, something for the viewers if they can make it on a Saturday morning, come hang out with me. They can throw the questions over there in the chat or whatnot. So, that way people can have a little bit of feedback with me instead of going through YouTube and waiting for me to answer comments and whatnot. Like I said, like the title says, today's only going to be Q&A. I do have 2 weeks of questions and thoughts that came through the comments. And I want to apologize for last week. I didn't get a tech video put out. The only thing that really went up was the Borderlands 3, the walkthrough videos. And that's because they was already pre-recorded. I just had to edit them out and throw them up. Like I said, last Saturday, I really didn't have much time to put into stuff. I was doing some personal stuff, and I only have Saturday and Sunday off, so it don't give me much time to get stuff done. So, we'll jump over here into the questions or the comments that's been left for this week. Let me see here. Desktop with webcam. There we go. Alright. We'll start out down here at the bottom. And while I go through these guys, if I butcher your names, I apologize. I ain't very good with the English language. Let alone some of these YouTube handles that people come up with. But I try my best. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to throw in the chat, now would be the time to do it. There's about a 90 second delay from the time I say something and the time you guys actually see it. So if you start typing now, it may take a couple minutes for it to come through me to be able to answer your questions. Let's see here. This was on how to overclock your RAM with a Gigabyte B450 DS3H motherboard. It came in from Sinin, I guess the way you pronounce that. He just said thank you. Well, I want to thank you for watching and thank you for the comment. And their kind of comments is nice. That was 1 week ago. 1 week ago, Steven 1911. If you didn't watch last week's stream, he was in the stream and he was asking me about me doing another game walkthrough or gameplay after I finished Borderlands 3. That's where some of these comments came from Steven. It says, I talked to my younger friend a bit about games for streaming on YouTube, new games coming out. Might have a lot of people looking for gameplay. When I tried out Twitch streaming, I was getting followers from playing random stuff I like, even older games. But best thing though is to play what you enjoy. If you have a few games, maybe try try posting a variety. Uh, been enjoying your play walkthrough. He came back, don't know exactly how long, it says 1 week ago as well. He says Dynasty 2 is another looter shooter. I think it's free. A friend played Division 2, also a shooter and loot. Mech Warrior Online is free. That was okay. I personally like 7 Days to Die, a zombie game. Just throwing out some game ideas. I know there's lots more out there. If you don't mind older games and haven't played them, the Half-Life 1 and 2 games are good story shooters. New Doom games. Doom Eternal coming out. Cyberpunk later this year. Open world games. Skyrim and probably still popular, but isn't a shooter. Far Cry. Another game I really enjoyed was the Stalker series about cyborgs. Tons of mods for it too. Anyway, just trying to give you some ideas. Hope your channel does well. I want to thank you for the comment, Steven911. And appreciate you looking for some games for me. I've been kind of putting some thought into the gameplay. I'm trying to get through the Borderlands 3, which I'm just about through the end of it as far as playing it. But we'll see if I'll do another one or not. I may still do them, but probably not as regular as I've been doing the Borderlands 3. I don't know yet. But thanks for watching. Thanks for the comment. And thanks for doing the looking into some of the other games for me. Appreciate you taking your time to do so. Like I say, I got quite a few games in my library that I enjoy playing when I did play, and I never did hardly finish any of them. Borderlands 3, I'm enjoying the game. If it wasn't for the walkthrough, I probably wouldn't have finished it. Just time restraints. But we'll see what my next game's going to be, or if I continue to do so. We'll see. Let's see here. For the next comment we got, it was on how to overclock your RAM with a Gigabyte B450 MDS3H motherboard. Rowan Peter 00, I guess is the way you pronounce that. Aaron Peter with two O's in the beginning and 2 O's at the end. Been trying for ages to manually overclock my RAM, as XMP was causing my system to power off on boot. Your video helped me finally do it. Thank you very much, sir. Well, you are welcome, sir. Glad I could help you with that. I'm glad you found some useful information in that video and it helped you get your RAM up to the speed that you could get it up to. Thanks for the view and thanks for the comment. What we got here? I guess that'd be George 28, Jordan 28. The Cooler Master Box Q300 build guide for 2019. He just says, thanks for the help, man. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad I could help you. I hope your build turned out the way you wanted it to. There's been some talk about airflow in that case, you know, and I don't do airflow testing in my cases. I run my systems, I build my systems, I stress test them, and my temperatures are good, I go with it. But I hope you enjoy the case, and I hope you enjoy your new build. Thanks for the watch, and thanks for the comment. Greatest Gaming, 1 week ago. Why on my motherboard it won't let me change the clock and voltage setting? That was on how to overclock the Ryzen 5 2400G on the Gigabyte B450 MDS3H motherboard. Without actually looking in your BIOS, I don't know why it wouldn't let you change it. I really don't know what to tell you on that one. It won't let me change the clock or voltage setting. I'm not sure why they have it locked down. It may depend on your processor. But the processors I've tried to overclock on that motherboard, I've had no problem overclocking them. I really couldn't help you with that. But thanks for watching and thanks for the comment. We got Laying Stanley 1 week ago on how to dedicate more RAM to your Ryzen integrated graphics on the Gigabyte B450 MDS3H motherboard. Says, thank you, Dave. Greetings from Greece. Well, greetings from America. I'm glad you enjoyed the video. I'm glad it could help you out. I hope it got you integrated graphics, more RAM for your integrated graphics over there. And thanks for the sub. Nillard Munkunchi says, hey bro, I need your help. I'm using a Ryzen 5 2400 with the Gigabyte B450 DS3H motherboard. I was looking to buy Corsair Vengeance LPX 8GB 3000 MHz RAM. 8 plus 8 equals 16 GB. So will that work fine? Like plug and play at 3000 MHz. I got a video out showing you how to make sure that LPX Vengeance RAM would work with your motherboard. But someone also commented that they was having problems with Corsair, and Corsair said that they don't support, or their RAM ain't guaranteed to work with a Ryzen processor. I mean, it's kind of bad that a company will come straight out and tell you that their RAM ain't gonna work with the mostly sought after Ryzen processors right now, but that's their choice. So I really can't tell you. You go look up that video, check the QVL list. You have to have the model number of the RAM to compare to the QVL list to see if it actually on there or not. Corsair Vengeance LPX, there's a lot of different kits with a lot of different model numbers. You'd have to have the model number to compare to the QVL list. I can't say if it will or it won't. You'd have to, but if not, overclocking the RAM ain't too hard to do. If you have to do it manually, usually you take what the XMP profile is and type them numbers into the BIOS, and you can usually get it to overclock, even though the XMP don't work. I don't know why it's like that, but I've ran into that problem with the AM4 processors with the Ryzen, or the AM4 motherboards with the Ryzen processors. Sometimes XMP don't work, but you manually type them in, overclock it, they work just fine. It gives you a good starting point anyways. Actually, someone replied back to him. Variant says that it won't plug and play at 3000 megahertz. You will have to follow the steps in the video to achieve 3000 megahertz. And again, I want to thank him for trying to help the guy out here. But I can't tell you if it's going to work or not without the model number of the RAM kit itself. And I've even ran into problems with the motherboard where RAM kits that's on the QVL won't work right. It's, I don't know, AMD, Ryzen, you figure by now that AMD would have this stuff down, but the RAM compatibility with Ryzen processor when it comes to XMP and overclocking can be a little finicky. But I want to thank you for watching, and thanks for the comment. 3 days ago, Chris Reed 1, he commented on how to update the B450 BIOS for the Ryzen 3000 processors. Says, I have the same motherboard, but I upgraded my CPU from the Ryzen 3 3200G to the Ryzen 5 3600G, but the monitor sticks on black screen. So if I update the BIOS, will the Ryzen 5 3600 work? if you running a 3200G on it and it was working fine with integrated graphics, then you throw the 3600 on it and it ain't working, it's on black screen, I'm going to assume that you put a graphics card in with that. The 3600 don't have integrated graphics. You'll have to have a dedicated graphics card. There really ain't enough information there for me to really help you out. And if you have to have a discrete graphics card for the 3600 because it don't have integrated graphics like the 3200G does. It says it sticks on a black screen. Usually most monitors, or most recent monitors show, no signal if they ain't getting signal to it. If you get 3200G is working, your BIOS shouldn't have much to do with the 36 working or not working. It sounds like to me you're going to have to add a video card to it. And that's what I'm going to assume with the way that's wrote, that you didn't add a video card. You need to add a video card to it to be able to use that 3600. Now, back in the day, your motherboard used to actually have a video chip on them. It ain't like that anymore. Your motherboard don't have nothing to do with the onboard graphics. It's all dependent on the CPU. 3600 don't have onboard graphics. So it don't matter which motherboard you pair it with, you're gonna have to have a discrete graphics card running that 3600. Hope that helps you out. And thanks for the watch and thanks for the comment. Flipping Varapka, I guess is the way you pronounce that. How to overclock your RAM on the Gigabyte B450 DS3H 2 days ago. He says, I done both methods with and without XMP and my PC ran into a problem. It won't boot up. I must reset the BIOS to boot it up, but then my RAM doesn't work at 3000. Can you help me, please? Here is my PC specs. Ryzen 7 2700X, the XFX 588 gig, RAM Viper 2 times 8 gigabytes at 3000 megahertz, motherboard Gigabyte B450 MDS3H. I done both methods, and with or without XMP, my PC ran into a problem. It won't boot up. Ain't really too sure on what to say. I mean, I checked the, make sure both your RAM sticks is inserted properly to start out with. But it sounds like you may have bigger problems than just the RAM. It sounds like it won't even boot up with or without the XMP. It could possibly be the RAM, it could possibly be a bad motherboard, it could be the CPU, it sounds like it could be quite a few things that could be causing this issue. Sounds like you're having problems with it not even booting, with the way I'm reading this. With and without XMP, my PC ran into a problem, it won't boot up. I must reset the BIOS to boot it up. But then my RAM doesn't work at 3000 megahertz, I'm assuming. Sounds like you got a pretty nice system there, though. But RAM Viper. You may have to go into overclock it and turn it back if it ain't booting up. It kind of sounds like it is a RAM problem. If it runs fine at stock speeds on your RAM, I'm going to say try to manually overclock your RAM and try to turn it back some from the 3000. Go with like a 2933 or something like that to try to get your RAM into a faster speed. You know, not, you can't always get exactly what the XMP says, or, there's times that you type in the XMP manually and it still won't show what you need it to show, or, run it what you want it to run at. Sometimes you have to cut it back a little bit. I'd have to look at the motherboard QVL and see what that RAM, the Viper RAM is set to run at. You may only be able to get 2700 or 2800 megahertz out of it, even though it's a 3000 megahertz kit. And that's the problem with overclocking. Even with XMP, sometimes you run into that and it ain't going to be able to run at its max speed. I try to go into manual overclock it and try to cut it back from 3000 back to like 2933 or 28, and see if you can get it to boot up and go with that. I mean, anything over the base should do all right for you. Should help, at least, especially with Ryzen. Hopefully that helps you a little bit. Thanks for watching and thanks for the comment. We got Alexi, I guess is the way you pronounce that. One day ago, how to overclock Ryzen 7 2700 on AMD Ryzen software. He says, thank you. Now my PC works not only as fast as a fast PC, but a heater to help keep me warm through the winter and even hotter in the summer. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad that I could help you out. I'm glad that I helped you out, and now you can have a space heater as well. I help you save on the rest of your utilities, right? But I want to thank you for the watch and thank you for the comment, and I'm glad I could help you out with that. I'm glad my information's helping some people out out here in the big wide world of the internet. But I think that's going to pretty well do it for the comments for the day. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat over there with a couple people that's watching today. And over the past week, actually this past week, the channel's hit 300 subscribers, so it is growing. It's growing at 20 to 30 people per month. So welcome to the community. I'm glad you decided to subscribe to the channel. And I'm hoping to grow the channel. I want to thank you guys that try to comment in and help the other guys out having issues and whatnot. I really appreciate that. But I think that's going to pretty well wrap it up for today's episode of Hanging with Dave. I hope you enjoyed your Saturday. I hope you enjoyed a cold drink with me. But I have quite a few more to go, and I got some more editing to do, and I'm gonna try to focus more on some of the tech videos instead of so much of the gameplay. Like I said, right now I'm just trying to get through Borderlands 3 and get that game over with and get it all put up there. That's part of the reason why I quit gaming all them years ago, because it kind of consumes all my time. And the time it takes me to put them videos out, by the time I play 2 or 3 hours to get an hour's worth of gameplay, then to edit it out, it takes me 3 hours or better just to be able to get that one episode of the walkthroughs put out. But then again, it gives me a reason to go back to gaming that I enjoy so much too. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Just leave it in the comments if you'd like to see me put it in chat, or leave it in the comments if you'd like to see me continue the gameplay stuff, which I know gameplay, video gaming and building computers and whatnot goes hand in hand. Just something I'm trying on the channel, see how it goes. I know there's a few people that's enjoying it at least. we'll see if I choose another game to go on with or not. But like I said, that's going to pretty well wrap it up for today's show. If you want to, you go downstairs down there and give me a like or give me a dislike. There's a comment section. I'll go through them next weekend when I'm live. If you want to leave a comment down there, be it good or be it bad, I'll put it out there. It don't matter to me. Don't forget that little subscribe button and notification bell where you're notified next time I put out a video or I go live here on YouTube. And with all that being said, you all have a good day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'll see you in the next video or live stream, whichever way the situation may be.